Starting. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We're just giving it a moment for attendees to join us. Sometimes when we start the webinar, it just takes a little while. But great, yeah, we have a lot of people joining today. That's exciting. Yeah, so, yeah, let's get started. Good morning, everyone, or depending on where you're joining us, good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to the FIU CIBER International Business Speaker Series. My name is Jillian Avendano, and I'm the Program Director at FIU's Center for International Business Education and Research. We're lucky to have one of 16 cyber centers located throughout the United States. We're the only one in Florida. And the focus of this grant that we have is to promote U.S. competitiveness in international business, thanks to the U.S. Department of Education, which offers us these funds to do things such as support research and IB, support study abroad scholarships, and to also do a number of different things related to international business. We have a great topic today. As you know, Miami is the gateway to Latin America, so we would be remiss to not include this conversation, Latin America, in the conversation. So today we're speaking about two countries in Central America that the United States works very much with. And we're going to be looking at entrepreneurship and sustainability in Costa Rica and in Guatemala. I pass along the mic to my colleague, Dr. Luciana Kube, who will tell us about our speakers today.
Yes, good morning. Welcome, everybody. I am Luciana Kube, Cyber Program Coordinator, and it's a pleasure for us to have you here with us. And we will have two presenters, which are Luis Fernando Madrigal and Marco Muralles. I will say a few things about them. Luis Fernando Madrigal, he is an MBA as a professor at Fundepos Alma Mater University in Costa Rica. And he is also a businessman, a consultant, and a delegate for the Costa Rica Chamber of Commerce, USA. And Marco Muralles is Director of International Business Development for the Latin Chamber of Commerce of the United States, CAMACOL, and Director of the Guatemalan Business Center in Miami. And we are happy to have them. And I'm sure that we will have more webinars about Central America. So we have a great start with Guatemala and Costa Rica entrepreneurs that they will provide some examples. And the entrepreneurs they know personally also. And you will see some slides. At some point, we will have a translation from Spanish to English. And then at the end of the presentations, we will have a round of questions and answers. So feel free to write your questions in the chat box. And at the end, we will discuss all the answers. So welcome and enjoy this ride.
Okay. Hello, everybody. You listen?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. We look forward to hearing from you and about your business.
Start? Yes, okay. Good morning to everybody. Let me share my presentation. Okay, a moment. Okay, right. Okay, greetings to all the people who have registered to this webinar. The United States is a country of opportunities that have made the dreams of many Latin American citizens who live here come true. Whatever, over the years, it has also become the main trading partner of these countries, which is why it is important to continue growing in the relationship through innovation and complement value and supply chains. My name is Fernando Madrigal, entrepreneur, consultant, husband, and father of a family. And today I will share the topic, how to transform entrepreneurship into the international collaborative system. Thank you, Jillian, Avendano, and Luciana Kube from Florida International University for the invitation. Thanks, Rosy Pedrosa, President of the Costa Rica Chamber of Commerce, for the opportunity to confidence in me to be a speaker in this presentation. And thanks to the government of Costa Rica and the figure of Álvaro Piedra, representative of Procomer, the promoter of foreign trade, the support. Let me talk about Costa Rica. Costa Rica is the third most stable and oldest democracy in Latin America, with only 51,100 square kilometers. The capital is San Jose, and it has only 5.2 million inhabitants. It's very, very small country. But since many years ago, traditional agriculture was continues to be an important item of the economy, mainly because in movies, the small family activity on which thousands of families depend. Since the 80s years, the country began to experience significant growing in tourism, given the natural beauty, squares, the mountains, and above all, at the warmth of its people. Costa Rica is currently an important magnet for attracting high-end foreign investment for the export of technology principle due to the condition of political and commercial stability and the high quality of human resources. A lot of information about Costa Rica. Costa Rica has earned the trust of the main multinational companies, and that has made it become is the number 2 globally in the jobs created per million inhabitants, and number 12 global position in average value in foreign direct investment. More than 67% of the jobs is created are dedicated to serving international markets. Costa Rica has beautiful and easy forms to do business, and is considered for many years, Costa Rica has maintained a strong position in becoming a natural laboratory for human-centric solutions, mainly focuses in vision to create a platform for human talent. People is very important to know, to us. Prosperity through a multi-sector collaborative ecosystem and a deep commitment to the planet biodiversity, for which is obtained great international awards. It's very important to know if you stay here in US, Costa Rica have a very strategic location to connect with constant flights to all the destinations in US, and with a few hours of travel. About the economy and the business park, let me talk about that. In addition to being a important source of maquila for multinational companies have decided to invest in Costa Rica. The country has also understood the importance of promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and add value in the model of a small family business. Is for this reason, Costa Rica has a 97% of the business park is made of micro pymes, and they generate more than 70% of employers. Let me show you one example. The program is for entrepreneurship and person who identify in Institute of Tourists have a program specific, and many entrepreneur people people who identify opportunities and know the risk, understand the action on organizing the necessary resources to create or fund a company or business to make advanced and at side opportunity obtain a respective profit. This program, for example, they can today make some products to export. The challenges of the entrepreneurs are to be able to maintain themselves over time to competitive and profitable meet to growing market demands that favor large chain. This is one of the a lot example. Okay, a strong culture from the basis in public and private education is complemented with a significant investment both at the level of institutions, but the government and private organization and whole platform of banking for development, which not only provide financial resources, but also support so that the Costa Rican has his own company. It's very strong, the structure in Costa Rica for the people take the decision to make the business. And I am an example. My story, I am an entrepreneur. I was a child. However, in 20 years ago, maybe, I saw a newscast that told me that when I reached my retirement age, even if I had contributed to the pension system, I will not have access to it. Currently, I have a family business cluster with my wife and my 3 children, 3 boys, with hotel services, restaurant, events room, natural cosmetic using the coffee from our farm, and our farm too is using for tourist activities. In 2009, we won a national award as a recognized businessman under 4 years of age, and from there. And I have trained 100 companies in Costa Rica, maybe in all the provinces and companies, and I have been linked to international territorial, economical, and development projects. Okay, which is the situation for the producers right now? The agriculture in Latin America countries is not out for the big question, what happened for the future? They don't have other alternatives to grow and aggregate value, where a producer, when facing economic contraction, is forced to spend the savings, they get into debt, then sells part of the farm, and then the cycle repeats itself until there is not more without heritage. That is why the importance of creating an economic dynamic around primary production through tourism and all the activities that generate income for the territories that develop these plants. Costa Rica has a traditional awards in environment, and we are focused in our region to have the opportunity to make business using, for example, these awards is recognized around the world for the protection of the environment. We have the opportunity to go out to see international models of holistic development, like the Avendano region in Germany. I was able to see the success achieved by this region that was clear about the development model in it based on the pillars, like added value to the agricultural production, biodiversity conservation, clean energy productions, and agro and ecotourism. The new generations in these regions no longer need to stay working in the big cities after finishes their studies, because they have a good alternative to their region to contribute to a very dynamic internal economy family. For this region or reason, we are thinking in that our region in Costa Rica, we're looking at the great opportunity in the circular bioeconomy that consists in conserving natural capital to do business. We can export our products, though it in harmony with the environment, using clean energies, and through tourists, generate a lot of visit for the truly spectacular experience in our region, because we have protected 83% of the area. With the best coffee in the Costa Rica, we have bird watching and preserving the story and traditional and culture from Costa Rica. And it's not only that, because our efforts has been rewarded in 6 years ago. I was to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations in Rome to learn about the platform. The name is GIATS, Important Heritage System of World Agriculture. And in 2019, thanks to the joint effort with our authorities and companies in the region, the Costa Rican government began to process so that our region is the first in the country and the foreign Latin America to be considered an important heritage system of world agriculture. So we achieved this thanks to companies like Kube, a company to which I was linked for 25 years. And in the last 5 years, I was a general manager until the last year, and which was the first company in the coffee industry worldwide to obtain carbon neutral certification. Today, also certified rainforest aligned. You can see the different certifications, 5-star, the the blue flag economy, Costa Rica essential country, is a country brand, and is a company that serves 1,000 small producers, export more than 60,000 quintal of coffee yearly, and has an operating flow of close to $25 million. In a small town, people together can do a very big and famous corporation. And this collective effort has inspired many small independent producers. And today there are more than 139 small enterprise certified with the blue flag ecological country seal. Other important thing is about the foreign investment consent. This is a success story in the company. Is the Three Corner, is in Kube. They have a winery and vineyard, and the Golden Rouge liquid from golden berries. They bought a farm, and which the previous owners are the new administration for the farm. You can see farmers, owners right now are workers. Is a very interesting, no? And they also help local producers with the purchase of the fruits, offer an extraordinary tour, and have more than 80 hectares protected area. It's a good example for a success investment foreign. You can see different activities they use and the product. Okay, let me show three small examples. For example, the first activity is coffee plantation in the region. Do you know? In this case, Milo, right now, third generation of coffee produce. Right now, he produces coffee, but the 5th generation, Alan is his grandson, is made the product the high add value because transform the coffee, the grandfather, in a lipstick using mint and coffee. Is very interesting advance and agri-value. The second is when the 4th generation producer don't produce more coffee. Is the case of Marvin. Marvin works to the bank and does not produce coffee, but Helen is the 5th generation, and she have a company to make products using coffee beans. She turns coffee beans into art, and it's very interesting because they conserve the activity. We need to produce coffee to have the opportunity to make more and more business. And this other one is very interesting because is the 5th generation coffee produce transform the farm, and right now is not only coffee plantation. Esteban and Nati produce, they are owners of a holistic educational farm, and the 6th generation, Dario and Dalia, they will be heirs to lifestyle in full because they was born in middle of the mountain into the farm, walking around the trees, eating fruits, in combination with the nature and the tourists, and this other value agree for the activity for our region. Finally, I talk to you where we are going. Continuing with the contribution, we want to move forward in initiative not only for conservation, but also for forest regeneration, in line with the agenda of 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Through the company Natural Economic Markets, you can see here, is a new company. They are working a lot in structure to have a model for develop in mountains and in financial develop for to have the capacity to sell air, carbon, clean. We are finishing the model so that you as a person or as a company can clean your pollution footprint and become carbon positive by buying carbon certificates with absolute traceability. This is one excellent option because it's one alternative to help to the planet, because it's very expensive to all the countries. The countries need to invest in mitigation and reduction of the contamination. The investment in mitigation for environment impact will increase, and we are already beginning to see the consequence. For this reason, in this aspect, that the 2027 is $2.4 trillion will have to be invested to mitigate the impact of climate change. And only for example, in Costa Rica, we produce a personal per capita 2.8 tons for carbon dioxide. In US is 21.2 tons. It's an example, but it's very, very, very high, the pollution. In this option, if a citizen and a university like Florida International University or company or a state, I don't know, would like to mitigate its pollution impact of the planet, this is an excellent opportunity because you can use this the money to preserve trees in Costa Rica, in the projects in Costa Rica. For example, if one people like to reduce and have a carbon positive, pay already $466 yearly, and he warrant to have 76 trees preserved, 1,273 cubic meters of soil, and 422 cubic meters of water with all traceability, with sure traceability, and is the same situation happening with the companies. For more information, we have here one presentation, the opportunities to have people who buy carbon positive certifications. And of course, the producers have the opportunity to conserve, to insert more spirit to clean energies and clean the environment. Thanks for the opportunity to the people use the money to compensate and reduce. This is the information of the nature economy markets. Alexis Gallard, Mauricio Trejos. My name is Luis Fernando Madrigal. Thank you for listening me. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry for my bad English, but we are, I promise we are learning more. And you have my information in this moment. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Luis Fernando. Costa Rica has really been a positive model for environmental sustainability that countries around the world can definitely learn from. Just wanted to give a little commercial that we're hoping to next year offer a faculty development in international business program where faculty can join us in Costa Rica, join Luis Fernando, and we'll learn about sustainability and how it impacts business and why businesses should think sustainably and consider the environment when doing anything, right?
You are very welcome.
Thank you. And Luciana, did you want to, we have a couple questions for you, Luis Fernando, but maybe we can leave that till the end. What do you think, Luciana?
I have here in my office one product from Costa Rica. It's the lip balm of coffee that Madrigal family produces. I hope I can, or we can have some Guatemalan products soon, Marco, which is gonna talk next. We are very enthusiastic, all entrepreneurs in Latin America. Thank you so much for giving us that energy.
Thank you, Luciana.
And yeah, Luis Fernando, I'll send you over the questions. We can address them at the end. And then we'd like to welcome Mr. Marco Muralles and Carmen Higueros. Marco, I think, will be presenting in Spanish as he felt comfortable with that. And then Carmen will be his translator. So please stick with us. We have both of them and we're very happy to have you both here today.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Jillian, and thank you, Luciana, for the invitation this morning. Well, let me put the Latin touch this morning. Talk to you in Spanish. Carmen will be with support to me with the translate to English.
And Marco, you also have access to share your screen.
Yes, let me share my screen. Can you show my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, you can put the screen mode below,
Yeah,
so we can see only this slide. Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Pequeño problema técnico acá con la señal, pero ahora lo resolvemos.
I'm having a technical issue with the internet signal, but I'm going to solve it right now.
Okay. And we can see, Marco, we can see your screen and everything.
Bien. Okay, ready. Guatemala, pues hablar de emprendimiento en Guatemala es un tema bastante amplio, como bien lo comentaba mi colega Luis Fernando de Costa Rica.
To talk about entrepreneurship in Guatemala, it's a very broad topic, as my colleague Luis Fernando from Costa Rica mentioned.
Traté de integrar en esta presentación aspectos principales del emprendimiento en Guatemala para que tengan una idea general.
I try to integrate in this presentation general aspects of entrepreneurship in Guatemala so you can have a general understanding.
Guatemala pues está considerado uno de los países con un alto índice de emprendimiento, uno de los 10 países con alto índice de emprendimiento a nivel mundial.
Guatemala is considered one of the countries with a high index of entrepreneurship. It's one of the 10 countries with a high level of entrepreneurship worldwide.
Hablando un poco acerca de las características del emprendedor guatemalteco.
To talk a bit about the characteristics of a Guatemalan entrepreneur,
Emprendedores muchas veces siguen el camino de sus padres, el buscar iniciar un negocio propio.
entrepreneurs often follow the path of their parents to look to find their own business.
Aunque de acuerdo a algunos estudios, son principalmente jóvenes y hombres quienes emprenden.
Even though, according to some studies, it's mainly young people and men who start up their own business,
En la práctica vemos a una gran cantidad de mujeres y personas de diferentes edades tener la iniciativa de iniciar un negocio.
in practice, we see a great amount of women from different ages who have the idea and initiative to start their own business.
Les voy a mencionar más de una vez en esta presentación la alta capacidad de resiliencia que tiene el guatemalteco a la hora de desarrollar un emprendimiento y de crear empresa.
I'll mention more than once in this presentation the high resilience capacity that a Guatemalan has when they develop and create an entrepreneurship.
En la diapositiva van a ver fotografías de algunos grupos de emprendedores
On the slides,
de diferente tamaño, perdón.
on the slides, you'll see pictures of different entrepreneurships with different size companies.
Hablamos de las características también de los negocios guatemaltecos que se generan de un emprendimiento.
We talk about the characteristics as well of the Guatemalan business that are generated from an entrepreneurship.
Una característica interesante es que puede iniciar su negocio con menos, o 4 de 10 negocios inician con menos de $650 de inversión.
An interesting characteristic is that 4 out of 10 business start up with less than $650 investment.
Guatemala tiene muy buenos incentivos para la apertura de empresa, que motiva a cualquier emprendedor a abrir su empresa desde el inicio.
Guatemala has great incentives to open up a company that motivate any entrepreneur to open their own company since the start.
Importante mencionarles que muchos de los emprendimientos son dirigidos al consumo, van presentan principalmente alimentos y bebidas.
It's important to mention that most of the products that are created by entrepreneurships are directed for human consumption. So they're mainly beverages and food.
Inician los negocios derivados de estos emprendimientos, inician los negocios en sus comunidades e inician con el mínimo de personal.
They start up the business in their own communities with the minimum staff members.
Si hablamos acerca del entorno del emprendimiento en Guatemala,
When we talk about the context of entrepreneurship in Guatemala,
regularmente el financiamiento lo hacen a través de familiares o amigos.
funding is usually done through family members and friends.
¿Es tan alta la cantidad de personas que buscan emprender en Guatemala?
The number of people who look up to start up their business in Guatemala is very high.
Que muchos recursos como tecnología, capacitación, se ven limitados si vemos el mercado en general.
That many resources like training and technology are limited in the general market.
Quiero compartir con ustedes ejemplos de algunos emprendimientos reconocidos en Guatemala, especialmente en los últimos 3 años.
I'd like to share with you some examples of entrepreneurships recognized in Guatemala, especially during the last 3 years.
Emprendimientos como Mari Creaciones, que tiene personajes infantiles o decorativos hechos con lana.
Entrepreneurships like Mari Creaciones, which has children's different type of characters created with wool.
Ella inició sola y en este momento tiene integradas a muchas mujeres trabajando este tipo de producto.
She began by herself, and at this moment, she has integrated a group of women to work on this product.
Menciono muy rápido en el caso de la pizza personalizada, con un nombre diferente, pizza.
In the case of personalized pizza, it has a different name, pizza.
Y bueno, la creatividad del guatemalteco en sus emprendimientos siempre está presente, como el caso de Taquito Pérez.
And the creativity of Guatemalans for their own entrepreneurship is always present, like the case of Taquito Pérez.
Taquito Pérez hizo una alianza con una empresa de lavado de carros que se llama Oh My Wash.
Taquito Pérez did a strategic alliance with a car wash company that's called Oh My Wash.
Hay muchos emprendimientos de diferente tamaño que han llevado, hay muchos emprendimientos que han generado empresas de diferente tamaño en Guatemala. Yo me estoy concentrando ahora principalmente en estos pequeños emprendimientos que están ayudando a las comunidades.
There are many entrepreneurships of different size in Guatemala, focusing mainly on small entrepreneurships that are helping the communities.
Este es un proyecto que no quise dejar de mencionar. Dickinson Cruz, un diseñador de eventos y decorador.
This is a project that I didn't want to leave out. It's from Dickinson Cruz, who's an event designer.
Él inició pues arrancó con su emprendimiento, montó un programa de capacitación.
He started up his entrepreneurship with a training program.
Y solo en el año 2022 capacitó a 974 personas.
And just in year 2022, he trained 974 people.
Muy importante la información que él me brindó, porque me decía que el 70% de estas personas abrieron su pequeño negocio.
The information he provided was very interesting. He mentioned that 70 out of the students that took the course with him opened their own small business.
Dos casos muy interesantes también. Un emprendimiento que generó un negocio y que respondió a una necesidad actual. Utsbox.
Here I have two cases that are also very interesting. An entrepreneurship that was born from an actual need, Utsbox.
Utsbox ayuda a los artesanos principalmente a poder exportar sus productos.
Utsbox helps artisans mainly to be able to export their products.
Tuve oportunidad de conocer de conocer a Jennifer Medina de Cintora Textiles.
I had the opportunity to meet Jennifer Medina from Cintora Textiles.
La conocí como emprendedora hace varios años y actualmente ya es proveedora para Walmart México y Walmart Centroamérica.
I met her as an entrepreneur a couple years ago, and currently she provides products for Walmart Mexico and Walmart Central America.
Ellos son emprendedores que generaron su negocio en Guatemala.
They are entrepreneurs that began their business in Guatemala.
Me pareció interesante incluir también el caso de Wunderkex, emprendedores guatemaltecos que tienen mucho éxito acá en los Estados Unidos.
And I also wanted to include the case of Wunderkex, who are Guatemalan entrepreneurs and are very successful here in the United States.
Los invito a visitar su página y déjenme ver si la tecnología es amiga mía en este momento.
I invite you to visit their website and let me see if technology wants to be friendly with me right now.
¿Sí están viendo mi pantalla y están escuchando?
Are you able to listen to the video on my screen?
Ok, continuamos.
Okay, we'll continue.
Oh, I cannot listen, but you can tell us what to do.
Ok.
¿Nos puedes decir cómo conectarnos, qué audio tenemos que hacer y lo que ellos producen?
Y también yo puedo enviar el link en el chat para todos.
Perfecto.
I can send the link in the chat as well. So you can take a look at it there also.
Ok, great. De esto pues les estaremos compartiendo la información de ellos. Un caso muy interesante que despegó como una de las empresas más exitosas en Austin, Texas.
Okay, so we'll be sharing their information. It's a very interesting case that started up as one of the most successful companies in Austin, Texas.
Son varias las instituciones, entidades y empresas que promueven el emprendimiento y motivan la apertura de empresas en Guatemala. Listo acá algunas de ellas.
There are several institutions, entities, and companies that promote entrepreneurship and motivate the opening of companies in Guatemala. Here's a list of some of them.
Quise compartir con ustedes la fotografía que ven acá. Es un grupo ellos fueron emprendedores, sus empresas lograron ser competitivas y ahora están exportando.
On the lower right corner, you could see a group of entrepreneurs who got their companies to be competitive and are now exporting.
Ellos se presentaron su oferta de productos exportables en Chicago justo esta semana anterior.
They presented the offer of their exportable products in Chicago just last week.
Importante mencionar que en Guatemala, así como lo mencionaba mi colega Luis, que tienen certificaciones en Costa Rica, en Guatemala contamos con una certificación también.
It's important to mention that in Guatemala, just as my colleague Luis mentioned that they have certifications in Costa Rica, in Guatemala, we also have certification.
La certificación se llama sello blanco y es para empresas que tienen productos con calidad de exportación.
The certification, it's called Sello Blanco, White Seal, which is for companies that have the quality to export.
Guatemala también tenemos la Asociación de Emprendedores.
In Guatemala, we also have the Entrepreneurs Association.
Comparto acá con ustedes la composición de esta asociación.
And I share with you here the composition of this association.
Estamos hablando de más de 7,500 emprendedores y asesores y mentores de todo el mundo.
We're talking about more than 7,500 entrepreneurs, mentors, and advisors worldwide.
Quiero ir terminando con ustedes, exponiéndoles también algunos de los resultados del monitor global de emprendimiento, resultados de 2021-2022.
And to end my presentation, I'd like to share with you some of the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor 2021-2022.
Y dentro de ellos se destaca 70% interés del guatemalteco por generar una fuente de ingresos más para la familia.
And from it, what stands out is the 70% interest of Guatemalans to generate an income for their own family.
Un aspecto interesante que no mencioné antes, viendo la parte negativa, es la inseguridad que en algún momento resulta una barrera, como en todos los países, para el emprendedor.
A negative aspect that I have not mentioned yet is insecurity, which at one moment, like in all countries, it becomes a barrier for the entrepreneur.
Yo les voy a estar compartiendo esta presentación para que se las hagan llegar a quienes participaron y puedan también leer todo el contenido de las notas que se utilizaron para tomar estos datos.
I'll be sharing this presentation so you could share it with the participants, and that way they could read all the content on the notes and the resources where the data was taken from.
Hay muchas palabras que cuando estamos con un grupo de emprendedores guatemaltecos se nos vienen a la mente.
There are many words that come to mind when we are with a group of entrepreneurs.
Y pues acá se las comparto. Tuve el honor de ser docente para grupos de emprendedores en Guatemala. Y estas son las principales características que pude identificar con ellos.
And well, I shared the words here with you on this slide. I had the honor to be a teacher for a group of entrepreneurs in Guatemala. Of the main characteristics that I could identify within them, this are here on the slide.
Para finalizar, quiero agradecer nuevamente pues a la Universidad Internacional de Florida. Gracias de nuevo, Jillian. Gracias de nuevo, Luciana. Y gracias a quienes me compartieron información para poder presentarla este día.
To end the presentation, I want to thank once again the University of Florida. Thank you, Jillian, and thank you, Luciana, and those that made it possible to have this presentation today.
Quiero agradecer a Claudia Vázquez, la consultora internacional que llegó al grupo a Chicago, el grupo de guatemaltecos de Chicago la semana pasada.
Thank you, Claudia Vázquez, who was the international consultant who was with the group of entrepreneurs in Chicago last week.
La Asociación de Emprendedores de Guatemala y el Ministerio de Economía de Guatemala.
The Association of Entrepreneurs in Guatemala and the Ministry of Economy in Guatemala.
Agradecer y reconocer el trabajo de Dickinson Cruz al generar tanto pequeño negocio en Guatemala.
To thank also Dickinson Cruz for generating a lot of small businesses in Guatemala.
Por supuesto, a mis amigos Luis Pedro y Hans de Wunderkex.
And of course, my friends Luis Pedro and Hanks from Wonder Cakes, who have made some great cookies.
Y por supuesto, a CSA, de Spanish Academy, y especialmente Carmen. A pleasure to have you here with us.
And CSA, the Spanish Academy, and Carmen, it was a pleasure to have you here with us.
Una emprendedora más. Carmen es parte del grupo de mujeres emprendedoras de Guatemala, que ha tenido un increíble éxito en el sector médico, en el sector de educación. Pues muy honrado de tenerla por acá también, Carmen, como ejemplo de emprendedoras guatemaltecas.
She's an entrepreneur, and she's the group of the Guatemalan entrepreneurs. She has had a lot of success in the medical field, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us and as an example of Guatemalan entrepreneurs.
Gracias a todos por participar. Acá están mis datos y a través también de la Universidad Internacional de Florida los pueden obtener. Cualquier información que necesiten de Guatemala, por favor, no duden en contactarme.
Thank you, everyone, for participating. Here's my information, so you could contact me through the International University of Florida. You could also obtain the information necessary to contact me.
Thank you very much, Madrigal, Luis Fernando, and Carmen. It was wonderful to hear from both of you, or all of you today. We do have a couple questions that we wanted to pose. One of them comes from Sajjad Hamid from Trinidad and Tobago. And this question is for Luis Fernando. They're asking, they say, family farms are in a general decline in Trinidad, but in Costa Rica, it seems to be very entrepreneurial, and they would like to know why. So basically, why are family farms so popular when in other places they're not as big of a focus? Oh, and you're on mute. Oh, I can't hear. We can't hear you. You're muted now.
Yeah.
There you are.
Repeat me, please.
The question. Okay.
Ya, o Luciana me puede trasladar.
Luciana, sí. And Luciana,
Está
you're
apagada.
on mute. You're on mute.
Can you repeat the question and a shortcut to translate, please?
Hold on, I'll send it here into the chat.
Okay. Yes, si los negocios familiares, los de cultivos, de la agricultura, están en decadencia aquí en Trinidad y Tobago, porque esta persona pregunta desde Trinidad y Tobago, pero en Costa Rica parece haber un auge del emprendimiento en este sector. ¿A qué se puede deber esto? ¿Por qué este auge?
Okay. Every agriculture areas has a problem because it's that first and the value of the cotton. The more important situation in the success for the families is when they are a family business. They incorporate the boys who study and they promotion the add value to the principal activity, for example, agro industry, and can sell the products with add value.
There is also a question for both presenters that, for example, if you think the investors, the small and medium-sized enterprises investors receive a strategical assessment to break into new markets, si reciben alguna asesoría para entrar en nuevos mercados, tipo de asesoría tipo MBA, asesoría de business.
In Costa Rica, we have different levels. Is for Marco or for me?
For both.
Okay.
For both countries, your opinion.
Okay. We have a program for started people who don't know how to start the business, and we have a technical support and a high support. For example, in ProCommerce is we have the opportunity to make all the process to be exporter, for example.
Don't know if Marco, you want to say something about this, or maybe
Yes,
the other
thank you.
question, which is, ¿cuáles son los productos que vienen en tendencia de mayor comercialización en Centroamérica? If there is a trend for commercialization in Central America, type of products, el tipo de productos que, sí, Marco, creo que sí. Okay.
Sí, muchas gracias. Solo con la pregunta anterior, en el caso de Guatemala tenemos también programas tanto del sector público como del sector privado que apoyan a los emprendedores y que apoyan el desarrollo de negocios.
Just with the previous question, in the case of Guatemala, we have programs as well that support support the public and private sector that support entrepreneurs and the development of business.
Y en el caso de la segunda pregunta, Guatemala se caracteriza por ser un exportador fuerte de productos frescos, frutas y vegetales.
And for the second question, Guatemala is characterized for being a strong exporter of fresh products, especially fruits and vegetables.
Sin dejar a un lado productos citas, y como el cacao, cardamomo, el ron.
Without leaving aside products like cardamomo, ron, and cacao.
And last questions, if you both have tips or a piece of advice for a foreigner that wants to set up a business in Costa Rica or Guatemala.
Okay.
Si tienen consejos, algunos tips o consejos para emprendedores que quieren iniciar su negocio siendo extranjeros, no siendo nacionales de Costa Rica y Guatemala.
Okay, Costa Rica is a very open country to start a business. Foreign people has the same possibility to access to the training, to the develop, and to have different options to make business and generate options to employees. And Costa Rica has a very structure, and it's possible to start, but it's the problem is when you don't have the contacts, and you need to people to bring the help to touch the doors indicated.
Gracias. Y en el caso de Guatemala, se tiene apoyo tanto del sector público como del sector privado para orientar a empresarios que deseen abrir empresa en Guatemala.
In the case of Guatemala, we have the support of both the public and private sector to guide entrepreneurs who wish to open their company in Guatemala.
Y mi recomendación, si desea una asesoría personalizada o contar con más información, puede escribirme o llamarme y con mucho gusto se la brindo.
And my recommendation, if you would like to have personalized guidance, you could write to me via email or call me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Will be in English too, not only in Spanish.
And if you like to share your information in the chat also, so people can copy it easily. Si pueden copiar en el chat su información personal para que las personas lo puedan contactar. Igualmente vamos a compartir una grabación de este webinar. We will share a recording of this webinar. And we want to thank you, Carmen Higueros. It was a wonderful work you did today. I hope we can have you at some point, somehow, again. And thank you so much, Luis Fernando and his wife, who is with us today also. And also Marco Muralles, thank you so much. And all the people who is connected from Procomer, from FIU, from Trinidad, Tobago, and all the countries. We are so pleased to have you as the beginning of a series of webinars and workshops and trips to Latin America to get to know more the business over there and the cultural aspects of the life in Central America and also South America and North America. we are happy having you today. I don't know if you have a final remark or something, Luis Fernando, that you also like to add, or Marco.
Thank you for the opportunity to part about my country, and you have my information in the chat, and for your job, Jillian and Luciana, and thank you again for the opportunity.
And welcome to Guatemala or Costa Rica. Welcome to Central America.
Awesome. We will start with Costa Rica, but Guatemala is next.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Thank you, Jillian.
Thank you. Well, that will conclude our webinar, and we hope you will join us for future webinars, or possibly to travel with us to Costa Rica in the coming year. We will share the recording with everyone who is registered. If you find that you have a question that comes up, feel free to email us or Luis Fernando or Marco, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah. Have a good day.